Ass barbecues in the
I
league.
just saw place my day. Oh my god. Oh my god. I bet
And now, obviously, Mahomes and Jalen are S5, but
I don't get these.
Yeah.
I don't get these.
These two, until they win a Super
I
Bowl,
want to punch it.
the pressure is all
Who's the
S barbecue.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The quarterbacks won more than that.
No, I don't
think yeah, I understand.
Just keep
I do get it.
I'm just saying, I'm not trying to be funny. That's a fact.
Yeah.
They're as barbecue.
Yeah.
Super Bowl bust quarterbacks.
Yeah. Go ahead.
It just makes total sense. All right, get it?
Yeah.
Now, the fact is, every year until they win a Super Bowl, the pressure is going to be on. And nothing, Deion Dawkins, God bless him, he's trying to lower the pressure on the team, on Josh. But there is no way Lamar or Josh can be satisfied without, I guess, if getting to the Super Bowl is another step in the right direction. But Lamar especially has to win. He's the only two-time MVP who hasn't won a championship. And Josh has to win a Super Bowl. Well, like they both have to win a Super Bowl. Maybe it'll be next year. Maybe it'll be the year after. History says one of them, they're both, you would think both of them will win one at some point. Yep. And we're getting, I see we're along in there.
I look at it a little earlier in the postseason than you do. He cannot lose to Patrick again.
Wednesday items. My meal of misfortune is now at Wendy's. It's pure fortune. It's uniquely excruciating. Enjoy the English.
He can't. And so I think that the quarterback who has owned another quarterback list in the playoffs, that the Patrick over Josh is in the pole position. We can put it up there, 4-0. Here's the thing, man. Like, Brady over Rivers, it's like, okay, Brady is in a drastically different class than Rivers. Aikman Favre is different because we look at them as their primes didn't align. You know what I mean? That Aikman had it, and then by the time Favre got rolling, the Cowboys were out of there. Kelly over Marino that's a sneaky, like, the most important part of Jim Kelly's career and the worst part of Dan Marino's career is what they were, Kelly getting to all those Super Bowls, Marino never getting one, and then Elway Kosar, it's just, again, we're talking about two different total calibers of quarterbacks. 4 times in the playoffs is wild. Like, that...
They still got long years left, too.
Tom only beat Peyton twice ever in the playoffs. I'd say that people think it's not true. Like, Tom Brady beat Peyton Manning 2 times ever in the playoffs. It feels like he owned him. You know why? Because he won the first 2. Peyton actually has a winning record against Brady in the playoffs. It's 3-2 Peyton, but those 3 took, over a decade. Once he was in Denver, 2 of those wins. Brady was immediate. Like, so that he can't lose to Patrick again. There's a lot of ways for this season. Nothing will be gratifying other than winning the Super Bowl. The only disaster is to be 0-5. And so, yes, I think he wants to get off this list, the most playoff wins and not making the Super Bowl as a quarterback. He has 7. 30 guys have 6. The other 29 have played in the Super Bowl. Josh has not. I think we all think eventually he's going to get there.
They're like partners.
Yeah, but of course they are.
But you're saying if he loses to Lamar or Joe Burrow, whoever in the playoffs,
again, he'll be devastated. But it's
on the flip side, if they met earlier and he won and then lost.
I still think that is something.
I think that would be okay.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Like if he were to beat, if round 2 is Josh Patrick wins. And then round 3 is Josh Lamar. Lamar wins. I don't think this year hurts Josh.
Like step in the right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. Still haven't made a Super Bowl. Like maybe Lamar ascends past him in some people's. But 5 times that's more than Jordan beat the Knicks. Like you don't want to be in that. So that's to me where it's at. And also, can I add I have an air of trepidation about him talking about trying to become basically more of a true passer. Because the reason I believe Josh Allen is the second best quarterback in the league, hands down, is not because just the passing. It is because I think he is such a dynamic, devastating rushing threat. And if you look at him as a passer in the last 2 years compared to Patrick, who these are the 2 years we're like, what is wrong with Patrick? He had won an MVP and come in fifth in MVP voting with equivalent passing stats to Mahomes. And we think Mahomes is like falling off. So, and I'm not saying that's unfair. It's because of what he adds running the ball.
Yeah.
If he's saying, you know what I mean, I'm going to try to run the ball less, that would, I get why he's doing it, but that would worry me.
I agree with you that he can't keep running. Well, no, I disagree in that he has to become, he's already a good passer, but as his career goes on, he's going to have to throw it more because he can't keep taking these hits. Maybe could end up like Cam Newton.
That's what
who took so many hits and
who had to change how it was.
So he's going to have to throw it more. But that's the interesting thing. He won the MVP last year. He threw it less than ever. He ran it less than ever.
He just stopped.
Still felt like he was a big, huge part, the main part of the offense.
Yeah. Bills Ravens Sunday night. Prediction week rolls on. We're looking at Defensive Player of the Year. Surtain won it last year. Here are the recent winners. Surtain, Myles Garrett, Bosa, Watt, Aaron Donald. Shout out to Stephon Gilmore. Then two more Donalds, Mack, and another Watt. Oh.
And JJ won two more before that.
Yeah, look at that.
The Watt and Donald family have dominated the last decades. Yeah.
All right, your Defensive Player of the Year pick, Brew.
I was torn between two guys, not on that list. Will Anderson Jr.
Wow.
in Houston, who I think has a great chance. I think that defense is going to be very tough.
Yes.
And he's going to have a huge year. And Aiden Hutchinson.
Oh.
And I'm going with Hutchinson because I think he's coming back with a vengeance. Obviously he hated to miss, the second half of last season. He was on pace. I'm not saying he's going to do this, but he was on pace for 25 and a half sacks. We had 7.5 sacks in 5 games. Obviously, I'm not saying he's going to get 25, but the record's 22 and a half. So I'm just saying that's the type of pace he was on. And I think he will have a huge year sack-wise. I think that defense is going to be better than it was last year.
Does our mascot look like Danny DeVito to you?
That doesn't matter. This is a commercial for Jersey Mike's, where the subs matter most. Yeah. Focus on the subs, where the subs matter most. The Jersey Mike's thing.
And so I'm going with Hutchinson.
You know how yesterday you were a little disappointed in Danny Parkins because he didn't pick the Chargers to win the AFC West? And he was trying to do the right thing journalistically and integrity-wise and only say what he actually believed. You wanted him to do the best thing for the show. Yeah. I had a similar issue today. The best thing for the show is to, after the meeting we had today and after the 3 months we've had, is to say it's Trey Hendrickson. And to make us do Trey Hendrickson right here. However,
It's not horrible.
However, I don't think the Bengals are going to be good enough on defense, so I'm going with someone who I actually think could have. He's never had more than 14 and a half sacks, but I think his team is going to need him to get after the quarterback. I think they're going to have more leads than people think they will and be involved in more shootouts, and that is Max Crosby. Max Crosby has finished 6th in this award. He's finished 4th in this award. He is for the Raiders defense to have a fighting chance, he's got to be great. And I'm serious when I say he has gotten his sack numbers despite the fact that they are, typically trailing late in these games. Yep. If I'm right and they're at least going to be more competitive, have some leads, he should be able to tee off some. I say Max Crosby.
Can I put one take chip on the take roulette board?
Please.
A lot of noise about this guy. Talk about a guy ready to come out with a vengeance, with a new contract. Micah Parsons.
Oh. Yeah.
Take chip.
That defense has to be good. Even though it's an individual award.
I think that's a good one. Take chip is good. I think that's good. And this is an award that even with a slow start you can win. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.
Saya. Daddy. These are just Saya's.
Boy, you don't like biscuits.
I know. Daddy, you had to show that. Daddy, you know, big. Turn this off. You have to show this. Daddy, can I have the phone? Okay, I'm placed. Daddy, can I have this? Dad, can I have this?
What?
That. Can I push that? I can't push this. This?
Turn this off.